NBC is seeing dismal ratings for their Commie-Olympics this year. Americans are tuning out in protest of China's inhuman communist regime and blasting the game's corporate sponsors. Joining me now is Ohio Congressman and member of the House Judiciary Committee, a man whose, his point of view was silenced by Nancy Pelosi when she threw him off the January 6th sham commission, Congressman Jim Jordan of Ohio. Sir, it's great to see you again.
Good to be with you, Chris.
Talking about the Commie-Olympics, is it fair to say that the American people, by evidence of the ratings, we have more of a moral compass than NBC, these corporate sponsors, these corporate giants, and the majority of America's government combined? I mean, we shouldn't even be there, right, Congressman?
Well, the thing that gets me is the way the media has treated this. I mean, there was one of the NBC commentators who said, I think it was the ski jump or ski slope. It looked like it was in the middle of a nuclear reactor plant or something. It was some steel mill or whatever. But he said it was a stunning visual. I mean, stunning. I mean, so just the way you see the media treat communist China, the way you saw Pelosi. I mean, she basically told American athletes, don't exercise your First Amendment. Don't speak out. Don't critique the abuse of human rights that China has on their record and is continuing to do. Don't critique that. Be quiet. Now, when do political leaders say that? I mean, that is just absolutely wrong. But that's the mindset from this government. They have kowtowed to China. They've been afraid of China. And I always point out, remember last year, this is where it all started and sent the wrong message. Remember last year when Secretary of State Blinken sat across from his Chinese counterpart in Anchorage, Alaska, and the individual from China just dressed down Secretary of State Blinken, just went after America, criticized us. Chris, that would never happen with Mike Pompeo in a President Trump administration. It would just never happen. And if they tried, Mike Pompeo would have got up, flipped the table over, and walked out and say, you don't treat the greatest country ever that way. What a contrast we see with the way our government is now treating China and this whole Olympic Games.
That is so well put. You know, I had a conversation with Arizona gubernatorial candidate Kari Lake on Monday. She slammed our country's role in supporting China. Watch this.
China is nothing without America. And the minute we turn them off and say no more, they will crumble. They stole our companies, they stole our manufacturing, they stole our jobs. They send back cheap supplies and cheap products made with slave labor. America should default on any loan that we have due to China. They don't deserve one more penny.
Congressman, the Democrats have paused any opportunity we had in this country to separate from this inhuman regime in China. Do you think the Republican Party has the leadership chops to push that down the road if they get back in the majority?
Yes, we do, especially when President Trump runs and wins again, because he was the first president to stand up to China. I mean, what a contrast. We went from a secure border to chaos. We went from stable prices to record inflation. We went from safe streets to record crime. And we went from standing up to China to giving in to China. I mean, that's what the American people see. And on top of that, it's what the Biden administration, the left, has done to our freedoms with this whole COVID issue and the attacks on the First Amendment with our speech, the attacks on our privacy, the attacks on our freedom. And Americans have said, we've had it. And here's the good news. You started to see it a few months ago when a bunch of people in Virginia started with moms, then it was moms and dads who said, don't make our kids wear masks in school. Don't teach them this crazy curriculum. And Glenn Youngkin winds up being the next governor in the blue state of Virginia. And then a few weeks after that, it was 12 jurors in Kenosha, Wisconsin, who said, we don't care what the mainstream press is saying. We don't care what the mob outside the courthouse is saying. We're going to stick to the facts, the truth, and due process and reach the right decision. And now it's truckers in Canada, maybe a trucker convoy and protest coming to America. People have had it with the attack on freedom and all the crazy policies from the left.
Well, several House conservatives have just proposed a set of sanctions for the Communist Party of China, their officials, Xi Jinping and his family included. The bill would prevent any of them from obtaining visas or accessing certain financial assets if they do not end their genocide of the Uyghurs. Theft of American intellectual property and aggression toward Taiwan is thrown in there as well. Now, Nancy Pelosi hasn't allowed one hearing into the origins of the China virus. Do you think she's going to allow a bill like this to be debated and put up on the floor?
No, it's a good bill, and of course she won't. She hasn't allowed any hearings on the origins of the virus. We have not even had Secretary Mayorkas, Homeland Security Secretary, at a time when we've had 2 million illegals cross our border, record number. We haven't had him yet come in front of the Judiciary Committee, and we're the committee with the primary jurisdiction over immigration policy, and he's yet to come and testify. The Jerry Nadler and Democrats won't bring him in to testify about 2 million illegal crossings in 1 year alone. So, of course, she's not going to do this. They're going to continue to do what they have done, which is appease the communist Chinese and not take them on like President Trump did.